itaola, SoccerBeat lovers, is your boy Lebohang Cheezboy Mokoena, the real cheese cheddar, the real mozzarella, namanje. Ungasibheki udlula nje athami mara thina vela sidelele silana ukupusha into right sinigaye izinto ezi-grand. So please don't forget to like and subscribe bafethu, hit that button and make sure ukuthi you follow us on SoccerBeat on all social platforms, and don't forget to leave your comments. We like these comments that have been coming, it's really good and really nice to engage with the fans and sharing some knowledge, because I think football is all about that. Today on SoccerBeat, I have the best, the one and other, the other and the water. My man, I got Mark Mayambela, wafethu, Petu Prof, the Prof himself. Today I'm entering the Prof vandaag. I just want to find out more about the Prof, because a lot of you have been saying, hey man, can you have Mark to talk about his career? We loved him at Bloemfontein Celtic, key player at that team. Mamela mangashali socks down yakhe lamasokisi lawamba lapha, because he's got big calves, man, this guy. Uzodlula ngathi akunabantu. So yeah, let's get into it, Mark Mfethu. I'm just gonna ask you a bit, like your time at Celtic, Mfethu, playing for a so-called small team, and I don't really say Bloemfontein is Celtic was a small team, because I mean, if I look at the fans, I mean, and the people that support that club, I think we have lost one big giant there, and during your time there, you were one of the star players, one of the key players. You made things happen at that club, So how did the move to Orlando Pirates come about? Because normally Machita Masuga from one team to a Pirates or a Chiefs, some of them don't know what happened, because Uti, I was going to training, then the following day, but no, pack your bags and go to Mayfair. So just tell us, how did that move come about?
Cheesy, thank you, my brother. Maybe before I get into that, let me appreciate the SoccerBeat family. I've been hearing good stuff and good reviews, and Abantu, they like the show and they love what we do, and I think it shows we love what we do also, and we bring in information to the people, and they must continue to subscribe and follow SoccerBeat, and I think there will be a lot of great things and great conversations that we'll have about football and football about South Africa. And also, they must not be afraid to send questions and interact with us, with things that we can do, and we can do better as well. I think it's important. Bloem. That's my favorite place. There's nothing and no place that has given me so much like those people. And we in football we speak about cups and national team and all of these things, and they are very, very important as well. But to me, being in that environment, playing for that team, the love that I got. I remember Cheesy, when we used to go to I remember Mutoto used to do tournaments and soccer clinics in Bloem. So also ahambe nami to high schools, and mangena nje isikolo siyaphuma, isikolo siyaphuma. Abantwana bayahlanya, ama-principal ayacomplain ukuthi ndoda, you came at the wrong time, man, you must come after school. It also shows, like, I remember we went even a crèche, like young kids, like 5-6 years old, but I also realized ukuthi these people built a culture in Bloem, a culture of football, a culture that is centered around that club. We understand that, and even the hotel that we slept in, it was a Protea hotel in town. The staff, every Sunday when we are playing, they are wearing Bloemfontein Celtic t-shirts. Every staff. When you walk outside for a team walk, when you go to the stadium, it's like Abandu are being programmed to follow these guys and this team, and it gave us also a sense of pride and sense of responsibility and sense of respect. Because I can tell you, Masihama, let's say we go to Ekasi, to Chisanyama, we don't go during the day. No chance. You don't go during the Uyepsugu, imoto uyayipaka emahlahleni somewhere nje ekhoneni, ushaya hoodie. So because this, as much as maybe Manji, we are laughing about it, but it also showed respect from us
Yeah.
as well to these guys and say, I cannot come out in Strateni and do as I please and be seen in a Chisanyama and all these things. And because of the culture these people have. I remember there was one player that went to Pirates before my time. I was told that they chased him from Ikasi to a town in Java. Because these people, they love their team and they love their players, Cheesy. They love their players. I remember a game that put me on the map, Lapayan. We played Platinum Stars and I was on the bench. Pumas Manenze scored 2 goals, 2-0. They killed us first half. So I was warming up, Carlos warms me up. But man, I could hear these people, they are talking, hey, Kimango. Mfano, Kimango, I'm about to bad fire. But Washimana Wanyal. Angiti nami, Wondile, skinny. I want to generally walk up, I want to fish. Lo, akuna pola la. Mangena la poya na first touch, in Ketabandu. I remember Sela Chabalala was playing for Platinum Stars. It was a corner. Eng benzing figil. Ungishaya ngamanqindi uthi wena ubani wena mnyamana uthi wena mnyamana ubani wena awume kancane wena mnyamana. After the game, bayangibiza for an interview, but I could see ukuthi obviously there was a tradition after the game where sizoya kuma-supporters and clap, and say thank you, but sidliwe 2-0. So mina mangilokhu ngishaya interview, but I can see in a corner of my eye ukuthi hey man bayabaxosha baba, they throwing stuff at the players. So my players were Ayabuya, they are sad, they just walking. So as I'm done with my interview, as I look up, like waiting for the team, because the guys now are coming towards me, I could see behind them, hey, lama supporters bayakhuluma, but bayarasa. Manje angazi kunzakalani ngilost. So Silonduna, who was the PRO, uthi hey man ndoda bayakufuna labantu laphayana wena hamba uye la. Vele I walk, I'm skeptical, angazi ukuthi bazongishaya or not. Hey mangifika laphayana bang embrace, they love, that was the game that took me from being a boy from Cape Town, played ABC, Vodacom League at the time, to being a household name in Bloom. And when you play for Bloom and you do well, Sundowns came, Chiefs came, Pirates persisted.
Angikho ngale persistence le uma kukhona into angangitshela yona. Pirates what uthini? Hayi man.
Phela uyazi persistence yalapho ukuthi ihamba nani. So I remember it was like December, so I met Floyd for a meeting with my agent. Tim Sogas was my agent at the time. I was not happy with the deal. December. I was not happy with the money that was offered, and then I went back to Bloom. It didn't happen. 2009 December. 2010 July, we are in Pretoria for a for a preseason camp with Bloemfontein Celtics. And then my agent calls me team and says, hey Mandata, they want us for a meeting. When I get to the meeting, I see the chairman laugh.
Yeah.
And then I see it. And I open the contract. It's the same numbers that Beng Tiang is full.
Yeah.
Ngagcina ngisayinile, angazi ukuthi ngisayine kanjani, ngasayina. I became a Orlando Pirates player from being on camp with Bloemfontein Celtics, thinking about the season to being, and to be honest, I was not really, I didn't want to leave at the time because I felt good, and also in that manner, I felt good. I owed Jaban Basse Bloom a little bit of even maybe a goodbye or something like that, But sometimes things, they happened as they did at the time. So I became an Orlando Pirates player.
I hope they happened the correct way, because I'm sure there's something there, SoccerBeat lovers, but we'll get to the bottom of it. So from Sundowns, Chiefs knocking on the door. Okay, Pirates persistent. So they managed to get the deal through, and you find yourself at Orlando Pirates. Now, as a player that's been playing in Blom, Blom is a very small, it's a small community of people, and it's just only Siwelele fans that live there mostly.
Yeah.
And then here you're making this big move or this big jump to a big team like Orlando Pirates with such rich history, and also moving to the bars of Johannesburg. Like, how long did it take for you to adjust? Because a lot of players, Mark, ne, when they get to Joburg, they struggle in the first few months or so, and if things don't go well, then they go off the rails, and something that didn't really happen with you, but you got here to Orlando Pirates and you had the ball rolling, my man, and you already had the fans behind you. Already, the name Professor was knocking everywhere. That left foot was just causing magic on that field, in fact. So how did you take that, like the move for you to actually now adjust? Remember, from Cape Town is a different environment to Blom, different environment, away from your family, away from some of your friends, because you are pushing and pursuing this thing called football, and now you get to Joburg. What was it like arriving at your first training session at Orlando Pirates? Remember, there was Teko Modise there. There was all these other big names that were there, right?
I want
So
to tell you a story before. We played Pirates in the Netbank, Orlando Stadium. I was playing as a left winger, and Joe was playing on the right. So Opamanyisa was playing as a fullback, as a right back that time. So
yeah,
as Maslala, when we have the ball and the Pirates is defending, and I was playing the side Lilile with the supporters, not on the far side, Lanye the
okay,
Tanye. And
yeah,
these supporters, mang mengi wa lapa, the ball is lap, like the ball is there far
opposite
from
side, yeah.
opposite side, but they were shouting it to Uche daughter, come, makalo muntu, hey, mamita, hey, maka.
Makangwenya.
Angiphetanga ball, and I remember after that game, I had a good game. After that game, I saw Miki Modisani he came running. Like who's that? Like because I bengamaz, like I saw him from
Sure.
TV from far. Bengamaz. So he came running a petty Mike. So my petty Mike guys. Are ati ay amfana unamasimba lumfana ay lumfana lo alomfana lo nzima lo akazi ukuthi ayenzeni le mic le ayi ngalesikhathi lesingifikile and it felt so good to hear him say that and also
Yeah,
after that I spoke to Tigo. I met Tigo in one of our games we played in Bloem. I asked him, these people, they want me to come this side, what do you think? And then
yeah,
Tigo said, it's a team that can change your career, and if
uh,
everything goes well for you. So he
voilà.
also played a mini role. But my first session was terrible because I think, I don't know what was the real issue with Tukrol, but he was on my case and he was just annoyed by me, and maybe Aksu Uyong Sainile, I don't know.
Obvious. Akusuye. Bese kafake lezaza
So,
lakhe, kafake lezaza
yeah,
lakhe. Nayi.
yeah, Maka, ubeyangibiza Maka futhi, akazi negama lami nje, who is annoyed nje. Maka, eyarasi ngithi lo muntu uyangibhora lo, yazi. But yes, as time went, things change, and he started to like, and we had a relationship. I remember my
Yeah,
first game we played Telkom at FNB, the last Telkom Charity Cup. We played
yes.
Amazul. So I was on the bench. Mangiyoma apha, hayi FNB yahlanye FNB lapha. Hayi ngaza ukuthi
Yeah.
hayi manje sengifikile ekhaya. First touch nje, like I didn't do anything nje. Ibhola lizile ngalicontrola bese ngawalker. Like I walked.
Yeah.
Orlando FNB Stadium yama ngeenyawo yathi indoda, welcome home. Ngathi hayi lana kusekhaya. But I would have loved to do, like, for things to happen a little bit different. But I think in all, Cheesy, I've learned a lot and I've achieved a lot.
Sure.
I played with the best players for me in the country at the time. Tigo,
Yeah.
Mashiko,
Yeah.
Dennis Messina, Lucky
Munib.
Likhwati, Abo Munib, Abo Senzo, the late Senzo, Abo Andy Lejale, Abo Opa Manyisa, Clifford
Yeah.
Ngobeni. The list is long. And I've learned so much from these guys. And I think for any football player, you have
Yeah.
to play in that level for you to say, I have played football. You have to play against the best, and you play with the best.
Yeah.
And I played with the best, and we won 6 trophies. We won the league. We had a
Yeah.
good time. The only thing that makes me so happy about my stay at Pirates is the way I made Orlando Pirates supporters feel.
Yeah.
How I made them feel, and what they say about me even today. I always appreciate and I always respect, because it shows with the little contribution that I've made, I change someone's life. kancane
Yeah.
nje in that moment, and I appreciate the opportunity to be there, as much as it was not as I would have loved it to be, because I had ambitions of playing
Yeah.
national team and all of that, but
Mm.
maybe it had to go that way. Maybe also Nami, there are things that I could have done differently.
Yeah.
But I've met incredible people and incredible career for me in my perspective, and I enjoyed even the difficult moments, because sometimes we laugh about these moments. And
Yeah.
mina ke bengumuntu personality, I said my what I felt, and when I don't like something, I said it, so it was not easy also to really to control some of the situation
Yeah.
in what was happening, because I felt too good. There was some moments where the club was unfair towards me,
Yeah.
and but also sometimes we need this pain for us to grow. So, but
Sure.
much respect to all the guys that I've played with, and I don't think there was a
Yeah.
player that I had an issue with, and
Wait, yeah.
maybe the coaches,
Mina
but
mina ngifuna ukukutshela something, Mark. Mina ngifuna ukukutshela something. Ela, do you remember, SoccerBeat lovers, yabona bathi umhlaba mncane, right? Mina I was already gone at Orlando Pirates. I'd left to go join
yeah,
Sundowns
ngifike
at Torkop,
sengiyambile,
right?
yeah.
And that Mark arrived under Coach Grohl and all of that, And I know Mark, you've won beautiful trophies. You guys were playing brilliant football. The fans were behind you, but it left a bitter taste towards the end before you left, because now I was starting to see fans not really giving Mark the support that he needed. Because as a player, Mark, I've also gone through that. There's 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 a season or half a season or a couple of games where I might be having problems at home. I might not be doing well, and I expect the very same supporters that when I'm on form can really rally behind me, And at some stage, they look like they were just really trying to hammer Mark, and I don't think that played into Rudy Kroll's hands to say, yeah, but I didn't really want this guy, but because of you guys, because I know a lot of players at Pirates are played because of the fans want to see them play. You
Yeah,
understand? And
yeah.
sometimes the fans have got the power. And when that happened, I myself, this is my opinion personally, as umuntu wase-Deep Kloof, I'm hearing rumors. No, Mark, this is the young Mark, right? We're talking and we are trying to teach. Don't get us wrong. We are not saying we are condoning whatever had happened, because all of us go through this journey and it's nice to share. So we are sharing right now. Yabo Mark. So ngisekasi Deep Kloof, and the guys are like, "Hey mfethu, nanga uTiko ukhona laphana phezulu, yabona." I'm not gonna mention the name of the place. Yeah, bakhona lapha phezulu. Ngithi awu serious. Hey, labantu bayaphelela lapha. Hey, and ngalesi sikhathi niyashisa, Mark. You guys are on
Mm.
fire, and I'm thinking as a player, no, but the guys are just out there having fun. Why is it that the people were so? I felt like people were jealous of you and Tiko hanging out together, playing together, because they felt like, okay, but that one is playing in the national team. He's got the opportunity. He's doing this, but his friend is not doing. Because there'd always be comparisons. So how did you take this comparison? I'm sure you know about it. Ukuthi, no, but Mark, Utiko is doing this, and you are doing this. You guys are not focused. You guys are doing this, doing that. We've all gone through that, Mark. And what was happening through your mind during that phase, in fact, where things were just mixed up, like izinto bezingahlangani nje?
I think also Lendo Yaga, people didn't like the relationship I had with Utiko, and I think even at the club, I remember even though Ukral saying it at some stage, Oguti, it must not be like Tiko, blah 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 blah, and I didn't understand why, because for me it felt like maybe obviously there were issues with Tutona at the time,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to be involved, and now they're starting to involve me in things that I don't have power on, and I cannot be involved in Dona's issues with the club, because also I respected Utona, and these are the same people that put Utona to the level that he was at the time,
Yeah.
and for them to try and crush him down, and was for me, it didn't make sense, because he was top human being, also top teammate for me, and he was a star in the team, but there
Yeah.
were like some people that didn't like maybe his achievements as well, and of
Yeah.
course when you are young, you have to do things, you have to be there, you have to be seen.
Yeah.
I'm not condoning Deep Kloof, Orlando,
Yeah.
Mapekla, Snawana,
Ngithi
you know.
bafethu uma ke sakahlala eSoweto bafethu kwenzakalani?
But I think it was an experience for me because I'm from Cape Town. I don't know these places. I have to experience, so that I can grow also. I can see, so that I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
fortunately, like there were guys that played football, that I played football with, that I was friends with, that maybe Khale Soweto, that Abo
Yeah.
Mandi are from Soweto as well, Bangabasi Kloof as well.
Yes.
So sometimes we are in Soweto, you're going to wash your car and you end up at Danish pub, so
Yeah. I didn't want
it's.
to call out that name, but you called it.
Yeah, I was going to show you all them. So we will go, we'll go
Yeah.
but there's no issues, no fights, no,
Sure.
just fun, just mingling and
Yeah.
experience and being with people. And you can say it's bad or it's good, but we had to do it at the time. We had to do it at
Phela
the time.
benishisa ntwana phela benishisa and ngiba worried mina cause hey labafana laba
But
bona
wofika eDanish pub, mos.
in fact I can walk to Danish pub ekhaya kuse deep Kloof ezone 4 mfethu. So mangipaka nyobona umagogo ngiletha ama fruits nama orange laphana. Kuzodlula i1 angithi yazi kasi. Cheesy.
But
Amawethu wakho nawa le.
one thing that I respected at Ngalisa Skat is that you will find players from different clubs and different teams, and you angeke like utole conflicts and bad behavior, komelana. We embraced each other. I can
Yeah.
mention many names, even those that
Sure.
abantu think that they are angels, and I can mention names. But
True.
guys had to do it. They had
Yeah.
to unwind and see different things but what was important is that we never missed training. We never did
Yeah.
funny things in training. We tried. And also like football, like when I coach Manje, like I tell my players that football is injuries, it's not playing, is sitting on the bench, it's
Yeah.
sitting on the stands. This is
True.
part of football. Football is not only about playing. But if
Yeah.
you have a bad mindset where when you're sitting on the bench, ukwatile, and you wishing other people bad, but now you're gonna get a chance to play. Who's gonna wish well for you? So
Yeah.
now it's also about managing these moments. So now if you can tell me now I must go play for Orlando Pirates, I'll manage these moments, these bad moments when I'm sitting on the bench, when I'm sitting on the stands, when I'm fighting with the coach, when I'm fighting with the teammates, when I'm injured, because these moments, they don't help. Sometimes, let's say you go out because you are injured, you know that you have 3 weeks out, so you don't have to. Why must I think pull me and have a little bit of fun? You know what I mean? Oh, I'm
Yes,
not
for
playing.
sure.
The team went to Durban, I'm left behind. What must I do? Milling is Valilvini, and so it's about managing these situations. I think
True.
maybe it's something that also that we need to, especially me, that I'm directly involved in football, to teach my players to manage these moments, to manage the
Yeah.
bad moments, to manage sitting on the bench, sitting and not playing. The coach doesn't like you. That this and that. All these small little elements, because it
Yeah.
plays a greater value to the players. Because I've also realized in South Africa, especially because I've played most of my career in South Africa, is you have to have a good name. This is bottom line. So as a footballer, you work towards having a good name. Once people start to say, Uchis uyatagwa, it ends there. Nothing else. So when you go to another club, the chairmans, because they're smart, they use this against you. And that's really about uyatagwa. Angeke sugaye 50, sugaye 25. What are you going to do? You know what
Yeah,
I
but
mean?
that's speti 2 rand Mark. Nayi 2
Exactly.
rand. Zama ukukunceda ngwenya. Zama ukukunceda.
So maybe it's something also maybe in amongst these shows that we'll do in the future, Cheesy, to speak about these things, the realities
For
of
sure.
football. It's nice to speak about tactics and this, but it's not the reality. It's not the real reality of football.
True.
We have to speak to the young players and say, for you to have a long career, to play 15 years, 20 years like we did. Mina ngidlale 14 years in football at a high level, and I played in Sweden. It's all about having a good name. You can have the talent, you can have the skills, you can have everything. The supporters can love you, but ucoach ufuna ukuwina at the end of the day. Akafuna umuntu ozomdlisa. He doesn't want a player that will be a bad apple to his team and start to influence players to drink and all of that. So, but
no.
it's all
Aziningi SoccerBeat lovers ziningi uma udinga 2 episodes bafethu itori ziningi because now I got so many questions to ask this guy. But since Mark mfethu ukhuluma with coaching, man, like how did that come about? Because you know there's this thing as footballers when we retire, we always ngathi sifaka ama-club man, all of us want to be coaches, and I always feel like coaching is for people that are really dedicated and really passionate about helping, not only coaching as you say tactics and stuff, but it's about building the human being in the player so that they can be able to face the social life. They must get the social skills right and be able to work in an environment, because football is like that. It's a team sport, you know. The dynamics are the same. Even the people in corporate, they probably use the different terms, but we are all doing the same thing, you know. So how did that come about for you to decide, okay, now I want to go into coaching? And after you answer that, Mark, I need you, before we close, I need you to tell me where you are right now. What are you doing? Because guys, hey, uMark ama-boarding pass wakhe maningi. Yeah. Hi, okay, take over, Mark.
I come from a family of football. My brothers, they played football. My younger brother plays football. My mom says she played football back in the day.
I met your mom. Mamzo!
So I come in a family of football. My older brother was a footballer and then he became a coach. And I think I have same type of personality with him and same type of, because he was someone that I looked up to so much, and I tried to model my life. Even the bad things that I did in my life, it's because of him, my late brother. With all the bad stuff that I did, you must blame him, because he was my immediate role model. So when I was playing Cheesy, especially late in my career, I was developing this fascination and this passion for coaching. And fortunately, in my path, I'm meeting people that have the same mindset. And I think I remember when I met Usnesipo Mali. Usnesipo Mali also was getting into the PSL, but I loved his passion for football, his knowledge. You know, he's been to Barcelona. He's done different types of courses and Raymond Ferren courses, periodization courses, and I'm fascinated by him. And now I'm starting to be friends also now with technical team because I'm older. So there's Umatota manje, Umoyo, Soweto, you know, Awelo, Ukobra, you know, we start to have this relationship. We speak about football, but we don't speak about football from a playing perspective, but more from a coaching perspective, you know. Yes. And then as I play, I went to Cape Umoya. I remember we played a game. Umandi, I was sharing a room, no man. So we played a game. I was coaching too much while in phakathi ground. So mandulele lapha uyaphakama umuntu ukwatile sidliwe. Uthi mara nawe kumele uye ku-coach ntwana, kumele udlale ntwana, kumele uye ku-coach. So at the time I was like frustrated ukuthi umuntu uyangihlanyela, but I realized later ukuthi yazini, I don't realize lento engiyenzayo, but I'm starting to coach more inside the field rather than ukudlala, you know. And there's this sahamba, and I could now feel the passion for coaching is surpassing the passion for playing. So coaching ila manje, and the playing passion is ila. And the gap is becoming wider and wider and wider, you know. And I was like, you know what, let me I remember after, especially when I decided out of the blue to do my coaching pages, you know, it was off season. So I applied for a C license, D license, C license, and I did this license and then I passed. And from there, I never looked back, looked back. Did my C license, I did my B license. I was, it's an element of the universe also, Nkulunkulu helping, and you know, God works in his own way. Because I applied for in the Irish FA, the B license, and I met a lady called Lulo Ona. She helped me with the process, and I was accepted. And then I did my B license just like that. 1 year done. I did my CAF licenses. Now I'm doing my A license. And
Mamela, I'm fit. Spirit, I'll tell.
it's been beautiful. So also like when I look at these players, I see myself, I see the young me.
Yeah.
I see I want to become the person that I wish I had when I was younger. So everything that I do, it's sometimes it's like doing it to myself. So how I treat the player, how I treat the young boys, it's like I'm treating myself, or I'm treating the enemy, because I also understand where they come from, the environments they come from. I understand 100%. I know every corner of Ilogish. Maybe that's why I love the Soweto. I know every corner of the township and every mind of the township, from the biggest to the smallest. So I resonate a lot with the players, and I feel their pain sometimes. And sometimes you cannot really help the players, and also South Africa has so much talent, Cheezy, so much talent. I won't lie to you. I've seen. I coach under 18 football, name. I have a 14-year-old player in that team. 14 years old. He's playing against 18 years old. He's massive talent, 15 years old, Cheesy. I'm like, but when I was 15, I was playing under 15. I was playing with guys my age, and I was not this good, But these boys, Cheesy, South Africa, if we can do things right, Cheesy, I'm telling you, an unstoppable nation. Because also, like, man, I'm in Ireland at the moment. And sometimes when we do the courses, they use players from the elite academy Zala. And I look at them and I say, our Emil to Emil Laba. And in Kulma, like I'm having this conversation with myself, and I'm like, our Emil Lawyers under 21 and you find out some of them they're playing for Liverpool, some of them are playing for Aston Villa, for all the English teams, and it's like under 21s, but the talent that we have in South Africa, Cheesy, maybe also in Africa. It's if we can take care of this football thing and take it maybe more serious, Cheesy, I'm telling you, we will be a country that is unstoppable.
Mina, Mark, I don't want us. I just, God forbid, we leave this earth without us even getting, at least finally World Cup game. Maybe we can win it after, I don't know, many years. But the opportunity is there, to win the AFCON. At least I want to see that in my lifetime, because, we've tried it. It never worked. There's this generation now. So it's up to us to push them and help them, But the one thing for sure, Mark, before I close, my man, I got so much respect for you, because, your journey, your story is something unique and something different, because a lot of players can relate from that. I mean, from where it all started, from Cape Town, moving to different provinces, meeting different people, getting into different communities, that takes heart, that takes courage, because some players, they are just too scared to actually try and evolve as a player, make new friends, learn new tactics, learn a lot of stuff, learn different societies, learn different individuals, because there's different cultures involved. We're playing with Muslim people, Hindu people, Christian. There's a lot that's happening around us, And before I close, one thing I picked up from you, Mark, was ukuthi uzocoacha. Yabona i-Ajax under coach Menzo. I was like, Ebe, lo yo coach lo. Yabona they were chikana nabo Tasi, nabo Nathan Paul selapan.
Yazi ke umshumo. Umshumo yazi from cheaper days. Uyazi umshumo. And also, like, it's true what you say about being open-minded, Cheesy. The AMA coaching courses, it's 10% of you as a coach. 10% that you will learn from the 2 years. The course, the A license that I did is like 2-year course.
2 year.
But 10% of it will make me a better player. 10% of it.
Sure.
The indoor that is more valuable in coaching courses, which is very, very important, with what you just said about different environments, is about meeting different people from different environments, different teams, different countries, different playing styles, different philosophies, training models, different. So when you have these different conversation, and it doesn't matter how small or how big the person is or the club is.
Yeah.
There's always something you learn. So we learn from each other. And also one thing about these guys in this side, they respect everyone. They respect everyone, Cheesy. And this is
Yeah.
where I find most of the lessons. For an example, now there's a guy who Uruben here. He works at Leeds. He worked with Marcelo Bielsa. He worked with Marco Silva. He's working now. They just got promoted to the Premier League, back to the Premier League. He worked at Leeds, and the information that he has, like, it's more than a coaching course. Cheesy, I won't lie to you. It's more than a coaching course.
Mark, I need more of that. In fact. Abelungu bazoze basikotele bathi hey aniqedi na hey mawuphethe uMark pele. But interesting, Mark, because onto the next one that we'll do, I think SoccerBeat lovers, please stay tuned for the next episode that we'll do with Mark, especially when it comes to coaching. So moving away from his footballing career, coming into the coaching, I think this will be a good eye opener, and even for the younger coaches, EKAS, the guys that have been doing the D license, the C license, just to understand the procedure and what it takes for you to actually get to that level where you can now say, okay, now I can work for my A license. When are you going to be ready to now start taking over as a head coach, as an assistant coach? There's a lot of dynamics involved in coaching, So, Mark, asivale mfethu. On the next one, we're going to continue ngendaba ye-coaching. And also when it comes to coaching, I wanted to ask this, but ngizoyibuza on the next one. I'm looking for the local coaches, but yeah, asivale. SoccerBeat, we are out. Aware.